thought that social media can manipulate you or harm you and your loved ones? You may think it's just as a cool way to find projects to do, get in touch with old family members and friends, but what if I told you it's actually harming young adults and people that you love? According to No More TV, 86% of their readers, male and female, responded by saying that social media sites actually harm their confidence and make them feel less confident in themselves. Social media is teaching adolescents that they need to look a certain way or tell them that they aren't good enough rather than telling them that they are perfectly fine the way they are. So today I will cover our need/problem, which is how social media is destroying adolescent self-image. The solution is how to stop false advertising, and the benefits and consequences. And the benefits are getting rid of certain things in social media. Feeling scared to get on the internet or reading a magazine isn't something that an adolescent or teen should feel upset about, yet they do. This is because of photos that are being advertised on commercials. For example, if anyone's seen the Carl's Jr. commercials of women half naked eating a hamburger, it makes girls think that, oh, well, maybe I should look like that, but I don't, even though I'm eating healthier than she is. When adolescents see these images of women and men with perfect bodies, it harms the way that they look at themselves. It makes them want to starve themselves to perfection or work out until they are absolutely just too buff to handle, I guess. It also makes them want to look as attractive as them, and then when they end up not looking as attractive as them, it hurts their self-esteem. When they see all of this, it draws them into a depression and makes them feel obviously bad about themselves. When they don't see weight loss progress, clearer skin, better shiny hair by buying products that people like Britney Spears buy, it makes them very upset. And stuff like this is also a huge factor on online bullying, because when people, teenagers, probably my age, because I'm 19, actually end up looking like that and can look like that, it makes them make fun of other people who don't. Have you ever wondered why everyone looks so perfect in these magazines, all over the internet, on the commercials? Well, you're about to find out. Photoshop is a huge factor in false advertising, and it is what makes adolescents have this false image of what people actually look like. Magazines Photoshop and edit all of their photos, and men and women, and makes men and women look perfect. They can take off, for example, the rolls that she has and make her hair shinier, her legs thinner. It makes them basically look like someone that they're not, which makes everyone else think that this is how they look when they actually look like that. This puts negative thoughts into adolescents' heads and makes them feel like they need to strive to be perfect. And they need time to grow into their own bodies. They don't need to be dieting at the age 13. This is starting very young now, even in like elementary school. Girls in 6th grade feel like they need to go on a diet because they're not as skinny as their friends when they're still growing, and eventually they're going to grow into their own bodies and just become who they become. Some celebrities are even taking a stand against Photoshop. For example, Brad Pitt actually has told magazines that they are not allowed to Photoshop him anymore, and that if they do that, he will sue them. He doesn't want people thinking that he looks a certain way when he really doesn't. They won't even let them use touch-ups or anything like that. And the benefits of stopping false advertising and editing everyone's imperfections out is simply that adolescents will feel more comfortable in their own skin. They'll see that, for example, like if Jennifer Lopez looks a certain way, they'll be like, oh, she has freckles too, that's okay. Like, it's okay that I have freckles, I don't feel so bad about myself anymore. They won't thrive to be someone that they know they can never be, and because people who if, for example, if people were being advertised for their imperfections, it would make them feel better about themselves. Like, there's actually a lot of models out right now who are being hired because of their imperfections. There's one model, I don't remember what his name is, but he has albinism, and that's one of the reasons why he's so famous, because of his imperfection. And I think that that's like a really good example to take after, because it shows that you don't have to be perfect in order to become somebody like that. That being said, I think that it is time that we take a stand against false advertising for the sake of our children, grandchildren, nieces, whoever, and for their mental health, and will make them feel better. So, since we talked about what the issue is with social media, what is causing the issue, and how to get rid of it, I'd like you to take the time to think about all of what I said. So, Photoshop, once again, you can see Madonna, obviously she isn't that young anymore. And they tried to make her look the way that she did like 20 years ago, when she doesn't need to be that way because she's still a beautiful lady and she's as much talent as she ever has. So we're striving for people to be unphotoshopped rather than photoshopped. And so next time you notice that there's an adolescent who is struggling with who they are, make sure that you remind them that those images are just photoshopped and those perfectly shaped bodies aren't really what they think that they are, and that all of them have imperfections just like they do. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, you know, they had a big thing on TV a couple of years ago. They just airbrush those people. That's why they look so good, so perfect. They can't, you know, they're all shiny, and there's nothing wrong with them in their hair. All it is professional makeup, cake makeup, and totally airbrushed.
Yeah, you know? They can actually take cameras, and they have cameras, and they can sit there and change the person's body while they're just sitting there.
And then Oprah Winfrey, like a few years ago, you know how perfect she looks on TV. You know, she's pretty. Well, then they did a study on her because she was helping the homeless somewhere in a different country, and she absolutely was herself. She didn't have the makeup on, and she looked 90% different than what she actually looks on TV. So it is amazing what they make people look like.
Yeah, they're
not
to strive
perfect.
for perfection.
Yeah, I remember years and years ago, Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah.
You're so young.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was into this too, but and she had a picture taken of her in her underwear, and to show people that she has, you know, cellulose on her thighs, even though she's tall and skinny and beautiful, she still has imperfections of they're not really imperfections, but she still has them like anybody.
Walking down the street. Everyone looks
exactly. And that's the big point that I have, because even I'm just out of high school, maybe like a year, and that was a gigantic thing, is everyone's striving to be perfect when you don't really need to be.
Beautiful, and have the best clothes and the right kind of makeup.
I did a women and gender study at Whitworth. That was my first college class, and I didn't know the biggest purchases of thong underwear are like 9 and 10-year-olds, tiny kids, or because they encourage it.
Of course, their little girls all make up and make them do these talent shows.
And let them because they want to, and shade their legs at really young ages.
It's actually the same for guys too, because they feel like if they're not skinny or have abs, that girls aren't going to go after them.
We're at 9.
All right.
Good job.